Hey everyone, it's Neil Patel and welcome to another day of e-commerce unlocked. Today we're going to be breaking down SEO and content production. This is going to be a really fun exercise because there's multiple ways of doing content production for e-commerce, and I'm going to be going over all of them. But first, let's go over mobile first indexing. See, Google now has two main indexes with their search engine, one for desktop and one for mobile. The reason they decided to do this is because everyone's on mobile devices these days. You can thank Android devices and Apple iPhone devices for this. Because we're all on mobile devices, you're seeing more and more people searching from mobile devices, whether they're out and about or at work or walking down the street, or heck, sometimes even when they're in a car, hopefully not when they're driving though. You want to make sure that your website is designed for both mobile devices and desktop devices. By playing nice, you're going to get the maximum amount of traffic. If your website's only good for desktop devices, what you'll find is you'll get a ton of desktop traffic, but you'll get very little to no mobile traffic, and your sales won't be as great as your competition. Here's an example of Etsy. Etsy's a website, e-commerce marketplace, where you can buy all things that are handmade or custom made. And Etsy has a nice desktop website, and they also have a nice mobile website. You don't really need to have a new website just for mobile, in which, hey, this is a mobile app. What you would want to do is make your website responsive. So when someone shrinks your website left to right, the width size, whether it's a tablet device or a mobile device, it'll fit and be really nice and create an amazing experience for them. By optimizing for mobile, you'll do better. So I want you to keep a few things in mind. Does your content really need to be that long? A lot of people are like, hey, I want to produce 3, 4, 5,000 word articles. Well, if you can get the same message across in 500 words, then make it 500 words. Are your paragraphs all cluttered together and do you have run-on sentences? Well, that'll also make it harder to read on mobile devices. I want you to go to ubersuggest.com. That'll take you to the Neil Patel website. Put in your URL and click on the site audit report in the left-hand navigation. You'll see something that breaks down your mobile load time. Try to optimize for the green. You don't want your desktop to just be green. You want your mobile site to also be in the green as well. And it'll look at your website from a responsive version and make sure that you're loading in the most efficient way and even tell you what you need to fix. Now, this lesson is about mainly content and SEO. So after you get your website mobile friendly, you need to produce content if you want to rank really well. And there's multiple different types of content that you can produce. They're not all necessarily blog posts. Some of them could be product pages. Some of them could be category pages. There are tons and tons of different types of content. And in a moment, I'm going to break down all of them and how you can maximize your traffic from each of them. So let's first go over ranking product pages. I want you to go to Ubersuggest again. Type in keywords for your products. In the left-hand navigation, click on keyword ideas, and this will give you a big list of keywords that you can go after. Make note of the type of keywords that are really good for blog posts, and make note of the other ones that are really good for, let's say, product pages. And what I also want you to do is look on the right side of this report, because the right side shows you everyone who's ranking. Is it a content page? Is it a product page? Is it a category page? Do they have a lot of social shares? Do they have a lot of backlinks? This will give you ideas of what's working and what's not. You typically want to copy the stuff and not just copy it word for word, but make it better, create a better version, more usable version of the ones that have a lot of social shares and a lot of backlinks, and of course, rank high. When you're using Ubersuggest, I also want you to really look at the search volume. The more, typically the better. Also analyze the competition. The lower the SD or SEO difficulty, which is what SD stands for, the easier it is to rank. Also look at the cost per click. If the cost per click is higher, well, that'll tell you that this keyword tends to do better. And in the left-hand navigation of Ubersuggest, I also want you to click on the keywords report under Traffic Analyzer, because this will also show you all the keywords that you rank for. And again, this will give you ideas, your position, and it'll also tell you what of your pages are ranking, so that way you can improve your rankings over time. Now, if you have a new e-commerce site, you won't see really much data here, but if you type in your competition, you can see all the keywords that they're ranking for, and you can use this report for that because it'll give you ideas of what's working for them and what probably will work for you. I also want you to go back to the keyword ideas report and look at the prepositions, the suggestions, the related keywords, the questions, comparisons. because by going to these other tabs, you'll end up finding more keyword opportunities. Some of these keywords may not seem like they have a lot of traffic, but when you add them all up together, it really does add up. It's all about driving people to content and then converting them into customers. And you'll see a lot of ideas. Some of the ideas that you get from Ubersuggest are going to be very relevant and others won't, but use the ones that are a good fit for you, and the others don't worry about. You can go after them later on. Now, as I mentioned, on the left side, when you go to the keywords report under Traffic Analyzer, this will show you what keywords you're ranking for, as well as what your competitors are ranking for, depending on which URL you put in. And on the right side, you'll be able to see the pages, the URLs, and everyone's ranking. So this will give you an idea of how you stock up to your competition and what you can do to improve, because you can just go to their web pages and see how theirs may be better than yours and what changes you need to make to win. Also, I want you to go to the site audit report within Ubersuggest on the left-hand navigation, because as it's crawling your site, you can see all the URLs, the errors, the warnings, your meta tags, if you have any low-quality backlinks or broken ones, and then you can go and fix all of them. And you want to fix them, because if you don't fix them, you won't rank as high. With SEO, it's not about doing one or two things well, it's about doing all the little things extremely well. So when you have a buttoned-up website, that's when you see better results. And Ubersuggest will tell you how to fix each of those step by step and even prioritize which ones are going to have the biggest impact for you. As for your on-site listing optimization, titles, bullets, descriptions, and keywords, that's really, really important. Category pages right now are dominating search, from category and even listing pages. One thing to know on this slide for you is when you're creating your listing pages, really have amazing bullet copy. People love skimming when they're reading. So if your bullets draw in the benefits, the value, you're going to engage more with your visitors and much more likely to convert them into customers as well. Some on-page SEO elements, meta tags, headings, all the internal linking, external schema markup, there's tons and tons of elements. And that's why instead of going through each and every single one manually, I just recommend doing the site audit report on Ubersuggest, because it'll tell you what's wrong and what you need to fix step by step. Now, before we move forward, I want to read this quote from Blue Stout. Search for keywords on Google that you think your customers would look for your products. If you see your competitors' product pages outranking yours, that's proof that you need to work on your product page. That's really simple, and that really is how it works. So how can you make your own products better? How can you make your own landing pages better? One way to do this is to iterate and link to other relevant pages on your product pages. And even from other pages on your website, like your About Us page, your product details page, your products listing pages, key landing pages, conversion pages. And don't just link for the sake of SEO, but link because it provides a better experience. And if it doesn't, then don't add that link. Most link structures are very simple like this, like the image on the right. You don't want to just have a simple link structure like this. You want to have something more complex, such as, linking to relevant content that can help people use a product once they purchase it, or even help them when they're researching, or even to, let's say, other related products on each product page. So then you start intertwining similar products so that way people can find the best fit for them. There's also another thing that I want you to do. I want you to be found in Google Shopping, and you can show up for free. Just go to the URL on this slide, follow the steps, and you'll start getting loved more by Google. Here's also an example from Skincare by Elena. Product detail pages that you can see right here. It shows you what you're going to get, and she even breaks down how you can use the products. She gets really thorough with her content, and she does this through images, through text, and even through videos, and that's what allows her website to be a multi-million-dollar business. You can rank your product pages really well, and you can also rank your content pages really well, and this is the second type of content that e-commerce sites need to produce if they want to do well. You don't want to just do one or the other, you want to do both. With e-commerce content, in a nutshell, you want to start with and research with the main keywords that you're selling, like the products, put them in Ubersuggest, and you'll see all the opportunities. It'll even show you the keywords that your competition is ranking for that you're not. Then you want to start creating an outline. Then you want to make sure you share your content, get it out there, and of course, keep doing this process over and over again. So let's dive a little bit into it. I love using Trello for my whole content writing process. It all starts with research, then you go into editing phase, then draft review, then editing, and of course, then you're ready again. So let's break them down. For the research phase, you can just use Ubersuggest, as I mentioned. You can put in any keyword, it'll show you all the ideas. But another report is a content ideas report that you want to go to in the left-hand navigation. When you put in a keyword, it'll show you all the articles that are popular on that topic. And it breaks it down by estimated visits from Google, how many backlinks the page has, and how many social shares. You want to go after the pages that ideally have a lot of estimated visits, backlinks, and social shares. By going after those, you're much more likely to do well. Google these days is looking for people who are writing content that are experts. So when you're creating that content, you want to show your expertise, authority, and trust. And a lot of that has to do with using facts, citing your sources, having relevant, up-to-date content, having amazing reviews, making sure your website is secure. With e-commerce, everyone should have SSL, making sure there's no grammar issues, making sure your site is mobile compatible. All of this helps. And when you're creating your outline, it shouldn't take more than 45 minutes from the hook to opening, the body, and the close. And that's roughly the amount of time you want to spend on each section when outlining. You can do this in Google Doc. I do it in Microsoft Office, but Google Doc is a free version. And you just go and you just start writing. Then from there, your editors edit in the platform of your choice, whether it's, on Shopify or whether it's on WordPress, whatever blogging platform you're using. And then they edit and then they hit publish. And when they hit publish, that's when you want to go out there and email every single person that you link to when you're citing your sources and tell them that you link to them and ask them if they can share your content. You want to go and use Ubersuggest and see who links to your competition using the backlinks report and hit up all those sites and tell them why your content's better and why people should be linking to you. When you put in the effort, you're much more likely to get the traffic. And this marketing part of content marketing is super important. Most people create the content, but they forget about the marketing. A good example of content for an e-commerce site is Skincare by Elena. Go check out her website. She has a ton of content on everything from products to just giving beauty tips because it's a beauty e-commerce site. That's what's helped her get to millions and millions of dollars in sales. As for content, I know we rushed through quite a bit of it, and the reason being is we have a 2020 rulebook for you when it comes to creating content. So if you follow this, you'll be fine. You can find this on neilpatel.com/training. Click on e-commerce unlocked, go to week 2, lesson 2, and download the 2020 rulebook. We also have for you the e-commerce SEO Taskmaster worksheet. So download this as well, and you'll find both of them at neilpatel.com/training. Click on e-commerce unlocked, and then of course go to week 2, lesson 2. So thank you very much. I look forward to helping you grow your e-commerce traffic and sales.